The Wawa Cup Series has crowned a champion, Duncan Ward, winning the Wawa Cup Series title on Sunday. Tonight, here in the BodyArmor LYTE Series Showdown, we're going to crown another champion, and it is the final race of the BodyArmor LYTE Series Showdown, where the East Series and the West Series combine. And Caleb Rose comes into this race with a 6-point lead on Christian Vargas, but there are 20 drivers who have a mathematical chance at winning the showdown here tonight. We also got championship battles in the East Series and the West Series as well, and it's 40 laps here at the Gateway Motorsports Park, the World Wide Technology Raceway at Gateway, here for the St. Louis 200. The BodyArmor LYTE Series Showdown is back here on AG of the channel. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to Gateway, Worldwide Technology Raceway at Gateway. I always want to call it Gateway Motorsports Park, but it hasn't been called that for many years. But we're here at Gateway for the final race of the BodyArmor LYTE Showdown, where the East Series and the West Series come together. And we're going to have ourselves a very fun championship battle because, like I mentioned, we got 20 drivers who have a mathematical shot at winning this championship. Everyone from Caleb Rose all the way down to J.R. Ribbleton, who is 32 points behind, and the maximum amount of points you can get is 35. There are no bonus points for leading laps, and it's 1 point per position going down for the showdown title. And Caleb Rose is in a great position, as you see, starting on the pole position as the showdown points leader. Let's see what he does from that pole position here today. Aaron Abel currently holds on to the championship lead over in the East Series, and he starts well ahead of Alexander Rowe here tonight in this one. Alexander Rowe started all the way back in the 31st position. Of course, in the Sprint Series, Alexander Rowe got the advantage on Aaron Abel over there, so Alexander Rowe's got that World Cup Series reserve, I should say, for the 2026 season. And then in the West Series, we got Ryan Durrani with a 13-point lead on Owen Miles. The West Series guys haven't raced since the last showdown race at Iowa. This is going to be a fun race. Doing alongside Matt Tuck, as always, it seems like now. But Matt, this is only the second race you've called here for the LYTE Series. The first one was at Thunder Road, and we saw Alexander Rowe just dominate the field there. But he starts all the way back in 31st, and he doesn't actually even have a shot at winning the showdown title. But I know he's going for that East Series title. What does he need to do in this race to close up and have at least some bit of a shot to get around Aaron Abel and maybe close in the championship?
Well, realistically, given where he's starting tonight and where the 97 Aaron Abel's starting, he has to worry about this, his East-West championship here. And he's got to start doing some damage control here tonight, because Aaron Abel, if he gets any sort of a finish reminiscent of where he's starting, and Alexander Rowe finishes anywhere near where he's starting, that championship is going to absolutely swing in Aaron Abel's favor. And this late in the season, that would not be ideal for Alexander Rowe. But luckily, I mean, we know Alexander Rowe is very, very good at this type of racetrack. So we will just have to see. But they're all going to be chasing the pole sitter, Caleb Rose, here tonight, who's looking to close out the showdown championship here.
And he, of course, won the last showdown race at the Iowa Speedway a little over a month ago. And he's got a great opportunity at getting it here today. And here's how they line up in the showdown standings. Caleb Rose has 6 points on Christian Vargas in this title. Vargas starting a little bit deeper than he would like in this race, about midway through the field, I do believe, there in the 37 machine. So Caleb's got a good advantage on him, but like I said, 20 guys have a mathematical shot, and you see all 20 of them there, all the way down to J.R. Ribbleton. Anthony Hernandez is 7 points behind. You got Owen Miles and Ryan Durrani, both 14 points behind, same with Max Davis as well. Max Davis is starting on that inside lane, a little bit closer up through the field, same with Owen Miles starting there in the 10th position. Ryan Durrani starting a little bit deeper in the field for this race than he would like in terms of trying to get the showdown title. And, of course, trying to hold off Owen Miles in the West Series as well. It's a 13-point gap between those guys over there. But odds are in the favor of Caleb Rose to win the showdown title, especially considering he's starting on the pole. There's no pit stops in this race here tonight, and these guys are going to go 40 laps without any need to come down the pit lane, which is good because this is a very difficult pit lane for these drivers to come down, and we saw that come into effect in the Wawa Cup Series race back in June. East Series is where it's very interesting. As you see right there, Aaron Abel, 2 points ahead of Alexander Rowe, and Alexander Rowe has been dominant in the East Series specific races. It's these combination races that have hurt Alexander Rowe significantly. And Alex Monroe, 5 wins on the season, yet he's still 2 points behind Aaron Abel, who has had a very consistent season. He's been very good all around, even though he's finished second to Alex Monroe quite a few times in the East standalone races. These combination races are where he's gotten all the points for the East Series, and of course if he wins the race he gets 12 points towards the East Championship, and if he's the highest East Series driver without the race victory he gets 10 points. Regardless of the fact if Abel finishes ahead of Alex in a row, 2 races left to go in the East Series after tonight. One of them is a combination race with the BodyArmor Pro Series at New Hampshire, and then it's the standalone finale at Toledo in early October. So Aaron Abel's got a good shot here at really pulling away in the East Series title. Ryan Durrani, on the other hand, has been kind of the Alex in a row of the West Series, though those guys have not had a standalone race in a couple of months. They will be standing alone shortly, I think at the end of the month at Colorado, which is one of your favorite racetracks, Matt. That'll be a fun race there once we get to that one. Ryan Durrani has a 13-point lead there on Owen Miles, I should say, in the number 15 machine. And Durrani, though, not really starting up front for this race. He's kind of deep in the field, but on the inside lane. This is a longer race, 40 laps here at Gateway. This is a 50-mile long event for these guys, so one of the longer races of the season. There is some time to work your way from the back to the front. We'll just have to see if these drivers can do so. Let's go ahead and get these drivers to roll off here. From the Gateway Motorsports Park, Caleb Rose and Aaron Abel on the front row. You got Ryosi Fujimoto and Reggie Fogelman in row number 2. Fujimoto has won the first race in the showdown back in February at Circuit of the Americas. You got the 10 of Marcus Glitch and the 99 of Aaron, boy, I'm getting my names confused here. It's been a while since I've done this series. The 99 of Andrew Williams. That's Aiden Davidson in the 51, who won the Uncharted Championship for Andrew Williams in the Wall Walk Cup Series. Nicholas Cameron in the 42. And then you got Johnson Jameson in the 17 alongside Owen Miles in the 15. You'll see the rest of the starting lineup there on the side of your screen. Let's go ahead and get these drivers to finally roll off here from Gateway. And Matt, you successfully predicted the champion on Sunday in that Meliello Southern 500. Who do you think is going to get the Showdown Championship here tonight and the race victory here at the World Wide Technology Raceway at Gateway?
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Give me Caleb Rose for the Showdown Championship. I like what he's got here tonight. And then I'll go for the race win. I'll actually vary a little bit here, and I will go with the number 10. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm completely blanking on who drives the number 10, but I know Leonard Koshma runs that team.
I mean, Marcus Glitch in the 10 machine. Looking to get
Marcus
his first
Glitch
win of the season.
I like Glitch here tonight. I think he can step up here and upset here.
We'll have to see if that ends up being the case. Marcus Glitch, of course, still trying to get his first win in the LYTE Series. Of course, LYTE Series is probably not going to come back next year, so these guys want that opportunity to win this showdown and then win their respective championships. There's Alex in a row all the way in the back of the field there, starting 31st, and Ryan Durrani, who is the points leader in the West Series, also starting deep in the field in the 54 machine. And their championship rivals in their respective series starting in the top 10. This could get very interesting once we move on throughout the rest of the seasons in both of those series. But this is the last combination race, the last race of the BodyArmor LYTE Showdown. And we're going to have 40 laps of pretty fun action here tonight around this 1.25 mile speedway in St. Louis. It's going to be a lot of fun with Caleb Rose, Aaron Abel on the front row. We're green flag racing on a Friday night in the BodyArmor LYTE Series Showdown. Caleb Rose with a good jump at the start of this race. He's going to lead lap number 1 here at Gateway. Ryosi Fujimoto second in line, and they still have an opportunity. They're 13th in the standings, 25 points behind Caleb Rose in that Showdown Championship. So Caleb Rose really in a position where if he finishes top 3 for this race here tonight, he's going to lock in that Showdown title, and that's going to award a BodyArmor Pro Series spot next year as well, which is a big deal. But Caleb Rose is going to get 2 in a row here in the Showdown, looking to also close his way up in the West Series. But Fujimoto with an East Series driver right here trying to get a run on the inside there. Aaron Abel going to slide in third. And we'll see how Alexander Rowe is doing. He has moved up a few positions, but it's a madhouse back in here early in the going at Gateway.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely, and this is a track you can make up a lot of positions very quickly early in the run, but you can also go backwards in a hurry if you are not careful here. Oh, that's some big old sends out of the Ralphin Motorsports cars, both the 6 and the 40 moving their way up here through the field early. Just a lot to pass in here all over this racetrack here early on in the going, and it should be fun watching Ryan Durrani in the 54 moving his way through the field. Everyone's chasing Caleb Rose here, though, early in this race, and that 24. Oh, here we go for the lead.
And Ryosuke Fujimoto going to take it away from Caleb Rose here on lap number 4, and what a run there for Fujimoto. And Caleb's got to be careful not to slip back too much in this race. This is one of those racetracks where if you start up front, you don't get a caution. It's easy to just stay up front in this event, especially considering we have no pit stops. But Caleb's going to lose another position. Here comes Aaron Abel, looking to get his second win of the season in the E-Series. To the inside of Aaron Abel, or should I say Caleb Rose, for that second position. Marcus Glitch and Johnson Jameson, who I am sure is happy to not be in that. Well, still got the invitational races to go, which he will be a part of those, assuming not enough people sign up for those events, but I'm sure he's happy to have his Wawa Cup 3 season done, and looking forward to seeing him as an owner in the Wawa National Series next year. That'll be a lot of fun to see what his team does. Had those National Series sign-ups last Friday night, and we got a lot of these guys who are going to be team owners, and a lot of these guys who will probably be drivers in that series as well. Owen Miles to the inside is Aiden Davidson, and those are two West Series cars right there going after it. And Owen Miles looking to close in on Ryan Durrani in the West Series title right here. And currently, he would be doing so as Durrani's still deep in the field. Alexander Rowe still moving his way through the field to the inside of his teammate of Campbell Marsh right there, trying to move his way into the top 20, trying to get into the E-Series points right here. He's got a good opportunity of doing so to mitigate the damage that would be done if Aaron Abel finishes where he is currently running. And that 97 trying to close in on Fujimoto, and the 4 a little wide off the corner. And Aaron Abel looking to close in for this race lead.
All over the back of Fujimoto, as is the 10 machine of Marcus Glitch, all over the back of Caleb Rose in the 24, and he's bringing Johnson Jameson. And I mean, got to give a shout out here to Johnson Jameson. It has obviously not been the kind of season on the Cup side that he would have wanted coming in here, but this is a great opportunity. This series is a great opportunity here for new guys to the channel to really showcase what they can do. And Johnson Jameson, I mean, Marcus with Glitch and Rose in front of him, both two very good drivers here. It's a great opportunity. He's still in contention to win this here, too. I mean, Fujimoto and Aaron Abel aren't pulling away from this.
How about this battle right here? Marcus Glitch trying to get that run to the inside of Caleb Rose, and that's a tight one right there. Always hold your breath when they exit turn 2 like that. Johnson Jameson almost getting in the Caleb Rose. And this 24 is slipping back. He's struggling right now in this 24 machine, and Marcus Glitch and Johnson Jameson able to get around him right there. And he's got to be careful not to let this guy through. Anthony Hernandez is 7 points behind Caleb Rose in the Showdown title. And Hernandez is really one of the only guys who's close enough to Caleb to get a shot. Miles does have an opportunity, but he's 14 points behind, and Christian Vargas has fallen back in this race. But all these guys hoping that Caleb Rose slips back even more. He has slotted into the 4th position, still holding on to that Showdown points lead. Meanwhile, up front, Aaron Abel was getting closer to Fujimoto, and this 4 machine really going wide to the corner. Here comes Aaron Abel, going to get a huge run to the inside here. And this battle for the race lead going to get a lot tighter here in the next few laps.
Yeah, this is going to be a great battle here between Fujimoto and Aaron Abel, and if they start going side by side, you're going to see Glitch, you're going to see Jameson, I think Caleb Rose. I mean, we are bringing a whole horde of cars in here, and I think it was the Wawa Cup Series race. It started early, a 2-car breakaway, but as the run went on, this track kind of almost reverse logics. You'd expect a race to get more spread out, but for whatever reason, this year, these boys and girls get closer as the run goes on, and we are setting up for a heck of a showdown here in a couple laps. Should have 7-8 cars potentially going for this race lead.
Well, Aaron Abel, should say Alexander Rowe, when the 40 machine slipped back, he got stuck on the outside and now down to the 26th position, so he was moving up, and now he's losing spots again, and that's good news for Aaron Abel. Abel is second in the E-Series right now to be 9 points towards the E-Series title, which would make it an 11-point gap going into New Hampshire. in a couple of weeks' time. That combination race. I mean, this 4 machine every time is overshooting turns 3 and 4, and Aaron Abel keeps on getting closer, and a huge run this time for Abel. Will he dive it in turn number 1? Not going to do it quite yet, but Aaron Abel seems to have a much faster car than Fujimoto at the current moment, and Abel knows he's got a shot at that E-Series title, and he's upset about losing that Sprint Series as well. He had it in that finale last week, and then just fell back, and Alex Enro took it away from him. And Aaron Abel wants to take this one away from Alex Enro here in the E-Series. He's got a good opportunity of doing so. Caleb Rose has pulled away from Johnson Jameson, which is good for the Showdown Championship in Caleb Rose, and his attempts to get it there. Here we go. Aaron Abel all over the back bumper of Fujimoto for the race lead. Not going to make the move quite yet, but it's tight up front here in the St. Louis 200.
Yeah, I mean, this is a nip and tuck here, sort of. Not really a true short track at Gateway, but they're putting on a great fight here. Fujimoto keeps making some mistakes, but Aaron Abel hasn't been close enough to fully take advantage of it here yet. I mean, it just goes wide again. You're going to keep leaving that bottom open for the 97 to get a big old run, and down through 4 this time. It is a big old run for Aaron Abel, and he's going to bring Marcus Glitch with him here.
And how competitive can this race get? We don't usually see too many races that are this competitive here at Gateway, but it is putting on a show here tonight in the BodyArmor LYTE Series. And Aaron Abel going to take it away from Fujimoto. Marcus Glitch trying to close in on the 4 machine as well. And Caleb Rose closed back in the 24. And just to your point, Matt, kind of get a bit of an accordion effect here at Gateway where they spread out and they close back in the later the run gets. Of course, tire wear is significant here. You do not have a cycle of pit stops in this race that these guys need to do. They're going to be able to make it the whole way through in this one. How about this 97 machine? What an excellent job he has done here today to hold on to this race lead here at Gateway. You got Fujimoto there in the 2nd position. Marcus Glitch, Caleb Rose, and Johnson Jameson in the top 5. And Alexander Rowe, Ryan Durrani, both of these drivers struggling here tonight. Durrani all the way back in the 22nd position. And of course, Owen Miles up to 6, so Miles would absolutely close in the West Series title, make that interesting in their last 3 races. And their last 3 races are all standalone events in the West Series as well, so that could get very interesting in that regard. There's only one standalone race left for the East Series, and that's the finale at Toledo. They go to New Hampshire with the Pro Series, and of course, Alex and Earl, last time they were with the Pro Series, had a good run going to Foreman Watkins Glen, and then pit road issues kind of got in his way and ended up failing behind the 97 of Aaron Abel in that event. And he's struggling here tonight at Gateway as well. We'll just have to see if he can hold on to that points lead or be close enough going into the Toledo to have an opportunity at the title. Marcus Glitch looking to the inside, and now they're going 3 wide on Caleb Rose. Here comes Johnson Jameson, Owen Miles. Of course, Owen Miles is your team there. Velocitar Racing Academy, Miles and Durrani. So it's kind of fitting that the 2 guys that are up front in the West Series title are your 2 drivers, Owen Miles and Ryan Durrani. So you're not feeling too bad about Miles closing in there, but Zane Davison had a really good run there on the 15 machine. Almost got taken out by Anthony Hernandez right there. Some tight racing up front here as these tires are starting to give away on some of these drivers here about halfway through the St. Louis 200.
Yeah, Davidson's move caught up to the back of Owen Miles there in the 15. And then he's also been dragging the 73 Anthony Hernandez, who definitely is on the move here tonight. And you kind of wonder if he can get a few more positions here kind of quickly. Could he have a shot to go up there? But no, these guys these guys are putting on a heck of a fight here. Love seeing guys like Miles and Durrani, who have usually been owners here on the channel across most of the series. It is cool to see them take a crack here at driving, and Owen and Ryan have been doing, you got to tip their hats to them. They've been doing very, very good. Really with a good control on the championship in the East Series as we run. So shout out to those guys here. Johnson Jameson continues to stand out here for Vision Motorsports here, putting on a great drive here, and I think he's going to make a crack here to go after these top 3.
And honestly, any of these top 5 can have a shot at winning this race because they're still all on this back bumper of the 97. Fujimoto has not slipped away from the 97 yet. And this 4 machine looking to close back in. That's Rogel Dorn's team right there. And I think I can say this now, Rogel Dorn getting a much better Cup ride next year. Driving for you guys at GRT. I know that's going to be a heck of a lot of fun watching him back in a good ride, because we know how good of a driver Rogel Dorn is, and I know you're excited to see that, essentially replacing Ladovic Charette there. Fujimoto, though, trying to get Rogel Dorn an owner's win. Marcus Glitch has a huge run, though, to the inside, and that's Leonard Kochmer's team right there. I don't believe Kochmer's team's gone to victory lane yet this season in the West Series, but Marcus Glitch is looking to do so here tonight, and he's got a good opportunity. And this is the guy you picked to win this race, Matt, and he's looking pretty strong in this number 10 machine right now, halfway through the St. Louis 200.
Glitch looking, his car is coming alive here in the second half of this race, and you can just see he's really working the bottom a little bit better than Fujimoto, a little bit better than Aaron Abel. Is he going to get a twofer in the corner? Oh, it just couldn't get enough of a run there on the clean air, but here comes Caleb Rose, methodically working his way back towards the lead of this race. I mean, he's in control of the Showdown Championship as we run. The only real threat to him is Anthony Hernandez, but Hernandez would have to have Caleb Rose go backwards. And there's nothing so far in this race that indicates Rose is going to do that. But we've got 7 cars separated by a second and a half here. Very late into the going at Gateway. I would not count out any of these top 7. I mean, if these top 4 start battling, 5, 6, and 7 are going to close back in. I mean, this has been a heck of a race here from Gateway, and I mean, the last time we were here in the Cup, it was also a really good race, so shout out Gateway with some fantastic racing this year.
And Marcus Glitch closing into the back bumper of the 97. You know, it's funny, Matt, that you mentioned that we were going to have the Truck Series here tomorrow, but you had a better idea, and I have heard through the grapevine, aka you, that tomorrow's race is one of the best races that we've had all year on the channel.
It was, I can't say anything now because we're recording ahead of time, but it was cinema.
So tune in tomorrow, noon Eastern time, for the BC Rich Guitars 250. Always a great classic race. I don't know what I was thinking when we thought, oh, we don't need to go to Michigan. Heck yeah, we do, and tomorrow is going to be a reason why we need to go to Michigan in the Truck Series. So tune in tomorrow for the Turkey Hill Truck Series in Michigan. That is going to be a heck of a lot of fun. But this race has been a heck of a lot of fun as well. Aaron Abel still holding these guys off. Marcus Glitch got to the back bumper, slipped back, and now Fujimoto trying to get that position back away from Marcus Glitch. They're starting to spread out just a little bit. Anthony Hernandez 2.2 seconds off the race lead, and Caleb Rose is pulling away. And Caleb's in a great position right now to win this Showdown title for Blaine Key's team here. And he's done a good job not slipping back any further than 4th in this race. Going to be 15 laps to go next time by. And Raiza Fujimoto trying to get to the inside of Marcus Glitch for the 2nd position. And they're going to get it.
Ooh.
Some spicy action there for the 2nd position. Might not have the run to the inside, though, going into turn number 1. That's going to be good news for Aaron Abel, trying to get his 2nd win of the season. A great run for Aaron Abel in this race, trying to pull away from Alexander Rowe in the East Series title. And Abel's 23 points behind Caleb Rose, by the way, so he's really not going to have an opportunity to win the Showdown unless Caleb really slips back. And that's just not happening. But Fujimoto back to 2nd ahead of Marcus Glitch. Great run for the 4 machine, trying to close back in on Aaron Abel. And they might get to that 97 Aaron Abel, trying to get 2 of these Showdown wins. As is there a problem on mine? No, there is not. That, by the way, whoops. That was not what we meant to do. That, by the way, that you're seeing that 24 was from a prior attempt there, so Caleb is perfectly fine. I do know that some folks do actually clear that and restart the game before they record, but I just leave it up there. But nothing that's on the chat log right now means anything to the race that we're currently seeing, so just never fear with the 24 machine. Alexander Rowe has to fear a little bit, though, because this is not working out for him. All the way back to 26 right there, and Aaron Abel is scooting away with this win. Durrani as well is also going to lose a ton of ground to Owen Miles. And that could get very dicey in the West Series, as they still have 3 more races after this one, and they're all standalone events, and Miles and Durrani could be going after it like crazy in those last 3 races.
Yeah, it's definitely not been the night that Durrani needed. Owen Miles has really stepped up to the plate here tonight, and it's going to be a wild run down the final gauntlet here of the West Series Championship. Just as it's going to be a wild run here down the St. Louis Gold Rush here over these final couple of laps here at Gateway tonight. And what a banger of a race here that we've been treated to so far. And we still have 12 laps to go here. Glitch is on Fujimoto. They are going to have a hard time passing Aaron Abel. That 97 is so strong here tonight. I just don't know. He's held off so many charges now, but we'll just have to find out.
There's another position. That is a West Series position right there as well. So Jameson to the inside of Owen Miles. Miles is currently in the 4th position for the West Series, which would grant him 7 points and gain 7 on Durrani. So it'd be a 6-point gap going into the next race at Colorado. That could get a little interesting because Colorado's a bit of a wild card for the West Series guys as well. That was originally going to be a Pro Series race and we moved it to the West Series. Should have been a Pro Series race. I'm sorry, Matt. We'll figure that out next year. Had a great race in the Stock Car World Cup to begin the year. It's the first event on the channel this year. But I know the West Series is going to put on a show once we get there in a few weeks. Here comes Hernandez to the inside of Johnson Jameson. And Miles can let Hernandez by in terms of the West Series. They're in different respective series, so not going to lose any points to his respective series, letting Hernandez by. But Davidson is in the West Series, and so is Skep Silver, and these guys are closing in fast on this 15 machine. And Fujimoto is not letting this 97 pull away. And all 4 of these guys still have a very good chance of winning this race with under 10 laps to go here at Gateway. And for the race lead, Ryose Fujimoto looking to the inside of Aaron Abel for the top position here on lap 31.
If you're Marcus Glitch, you're going to have to start thinking here, how crazy do I want to get here? Oh, he's going to try to push the 97 across the top, but Fujimoto's going to rip the bottom of the racetrack. Oh, they're going to be 2 wide, almost 3 wide coming off the corner here. Oh, Caleb. Is Caleb going to make the send down into turns 3 and 4? He doesn't have to make the 3 wide send, but he gets to the bottom of Abel. And don't count out don't count out Marcus Glitch here late in the going. He's got an opportunity. They got Abel out of the lead, all out of sorts, and it's all to fight here late in the race.
And look at how close these guys are now. Hernandez is up in this battle as well. Anthony Hernandez was 2.5 seconds off the race lead a few laps ago. Now he's within a second. That is wild right there. How about this 73 trying to close in, hoping that something happens to Caleb Rose. That's his opportunity to win this race. And look at how close they're all now. Nicholas Cameron is in view. These guys are getting closer and closer to the race lead as this race closes in. And Ryose Fujimoto back out front for the second time tonight here in the St. Louis 200. Marcus Glitch trying to close in on the 4. Aaron Abel still trying to hold on. Johnson Jameson really got out of line, and he's slipping back in the 17 as Hernandez is trying to get around him. And it looks like the 73 will finally make the move on the 17. They lost a lot of ground right there on that lap, though. I think the 17 lost a ton of speed there, and the tires are really starting to give out for some of these guys here at Gateway. I'm just going to have to see how well these guys can maneuver these last few laps here in the St. Louis 200. Any of these guys can still win this race, and Marcus Glitch trying to get it. Aaron Abel going to get back to the inside, though, for second, and Abel is now going to lose this race to an E-Series driver.
Well, and Abel also knows he has a great opportunity to maximize a point jump here on Alexander Rowe, who's very out of position here tonight. And Abel, if he can get back up here and take this win away from Fujimoto, that would be huge for that championship. But I mean, shout out to all. You got to tip your cap to all 3. I mean, these are some drivers here: Fujimoto, Marcus Glitch, Aaron Abel. They could all be World Wide National Series drivers. And if you're sitting here watching this, watching them beat out Caleb Rose, Anthony Hernandez, guys who we know are good drivers. This is some good stuff here, and this is some clutch level performance here. We know that Wawa National seats are going to be hot, and these guys can all be there. Good time to show out.
No doubt about it, and I think a lot of these guys will sign up as National Series drivers, and if you're a National Series team owner, you absolutely want to be looking at it and being like, hey, this is a guy who has done really well in the LYTE Series. I want him on my team. I want to go win a championship. Might be hard with you and Ladovic as drivers. We'll see how that works out. But we're far from over with this race here from Gateway. 4 laps to go, and it's still anybody's guess. Marcus Glitch is still there on the back bumper of Fujimoto. And, of course, it's 12 points to your respective series if you win the race, and only 10 if you don't win, but still are the highest driver in your series. And that's what Aaron Abel's saying. That's a 3-point swing, him losing that points lead, or losing that race lead to Fujimoto, and then losing another position there to Marcus Glitch. And every point's going to matter in that E-Series title, and Aaron Abel knows it. He's still going to have a good margin ahead of Alexander Rowe, but Alexander Rowe, we know how good he is in those standalone events. They definitely get dicey in terms of that championship. Owen Miles, on the other end, has slipped back quite a bit and lost some spots to a lot of West Series drivers, so that's good news for Durrani in the West Series title. And Caleb Rose is sitting pretty in the Showdown title right now, still running in the 4th position, but focus on the race lead, and they're all still on each other. 2.5 laps to go at Gateway, and Marcus Glitch trying to do all he can to get his first win here in the Light Series.
And this would be a huge time for Glitch to clutch up here and get his first win in the Light Series. We're going to have 2 laps to go here when they cross the stripe. I think it's just a battle now between the top 3 as Caleb Rose is still there, but he's just not closing fast enough here. Sends it off into 1 and 2. I mean, you got to remember, too, these guys are racing on 39-lap old tires here. The fact that they've been able to keep the racing up this long is incredible here, but does Glitch or Abel have one more heroic run in them here? We'll find out as we come to the white flag.
Oh, Marcus Glitch really closing in on Fujimoto right here. All over the back bumper. Will he try to make a move on this last lap? White flag in the air here in the St. Louis 200, the last race of the BodyArmor LYTE Showdown. And it's going to be a showdown for this race lead. Marcus Glitch has to close in on this corner, but Fujimoto pulling away right there. That might be it. We're just going to have to see if Glitch can close in enough, but that might be too much of a gap to have an opportunity at the race win at this point. Still 2 more corners left to go here at Gateway. Marcus Glitch trying to get to the inside of Fujimoto. He's got a run. He's got them nose to the inside, and we're going to be side by side coming to the checkered flag here at Gateway. But Fujimoto on the outside lane is going to steal it here in the St. Louis 200. You almost had it, man. You almost had the pick right. You were just 700ths off.
What a run from Fujimoto off the 3 and 4 there. I thought Glitch kind of had a shot to have him beat there, but Fujimoto pulled some speed down the front straightaway, and unbelievable battle between our podium finishers here tonight.
Well, Caleb Rose has gotten a championship as a driver, I guess, you know, we call it that. The Showdown was only 4 races long, but he's going to have more points than anybody in it. And Caleb Rose is your BodyArmor LYTE Series Showdown champion for 2025. Driving for BK Industries and Blaine Keys over there in the West Series. He's also going to get some points in the West Series as well, which is going to be critical on that championship. As a matter of fact, he's going to get 9 points, and he's going to jump 9 points closer to Ryan Durrani, who's not going to get any points here today. And same goes for Alexander Rowe as well, I would assume. We'll check in on that. That was a fun race, Matt. I didn't think it was going to be as fun as it was, but that was entertaining. One of the closest finishes of the year on the channel at 0.068 seconds. Ryose Fujimoto ahead of Marcus Glitch here at Gateway. Caleb Rose, your Showdown champion. That was fun, and I'm glad we had this race here tonight. This was an entertaining event here from the Gateway Motorsports Park. And, you know, these championships in the East and West Series are going to get very interesting now. Aaron Abel pulling away from Alexander Rowe, who's been the dominant driver. And then Durrani losing some points to those guys in the West Series. How do you anticipate those championships playing out here over the next couple of months?
I mean, it's going to be, you know, I think Abel, that's a big swing for Rowe that he didn't need tonight. You know, obviously we know Alexander Rowe is the type of driver he might be. You know, he can definitely fight this comeback in, but you know, you're running out of races to give yourself errors like you get tonight. And then obviously, I mean, Owen Miles is going to open his lead up on Ryan, or Owen Miles is going to greatly carve into that lead that Ryan Durrani had. So that's going to be a showdown here. So is Caleb Rose, by the way, in that title. And Johnson Jameson, you're going to have 4 or 5 of them going at it over the last couple weeks. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But a great battle here tonight amongst, I mean, really all of the top 7 drivers. And Gateway, I think Gateway deserves a spot, honestly, in all of the top series. It didn't deserve a spot over Michigan, and you all will find out tomorrow at noon.
Yes.
Why. But this is don't let that distract us. This racetrack the past year or so has put on some very, very good racing and fun to be again here in the booth in St. Louis.
It was a lot of fun here tonight from Gateway, no doubt about it. And neither Alexander Rowe or Ryan Durrani are going to get any points. It's going to make the championships a little bit more interesting there. Over there, Aaron Abel was the points leader in the E-Series coming in. He's still going to get a massive amount of points, 9 points for him right there. You have Fujimoto, Aaron Abel, Anthony Hernandez, Joshua Neely, Kyle Craven, Dylan Matthews, Andrew Williams, Reggie Fogelman, BB Ruiz, and Campbell Marsh getting points in the East Series. And then in the West Series, it's Marcus Glitch, Caleb Rose, Zayden Davidson, Johnson Jameson, Skep Silver, Owen Miles, Henry Brown, Nicholas Cameron, Trey Wright, and Rashia Mahendra getting points in the West Series. Nobody else getting points elsewhere. We know that Caleb Rose has won the Showdown title here in the BodyArmor LYTE Series. Congratulations to him on that. He got 3 top 5s. And actually, so did Anthony Hernandez. Both Caleb Rose and Anthony Hernandez finished top 5 in 3 of the 4 Showdown races. That is pretty impressive right there. And Caleb Rose is going to be the one who wins the title in the Showdown title. So he's gonna get himself a Pro Series ride next year as a driver, which is great. We love seeing Caleb as a driver. It doesn't really happen that often on the channel, and he's only got maybe like 2 wins as a driver. But we took away his Cup Series team, so I'm sure he'll be happy about that one. Getting Appalachian Motorsports in the Pro Series in some way, I guess. Thank you so much for joining me, Matt, as always, and thank you all for watching here on this Friday night from Gateway. Had a lot of fun with this one. My next race is going to be the Lumen Oregon Invitational. I'm going to try to get Brennan in the booth for that one from Oregon International Speedway for the Wall Cup Series, first invitational race of the season. We're excited for that, and you'll see a race from me every week, essentially, until the end of the year. But, of course, Caleb doing the Truck Series, which you will see tomorrow at noon Eastern Time with the BC Rich Guitars 250. And I believe Matt when he says it is cinema. I think it's going to be a lot of fun seeing how that goes down for the 3rd race of the season in the Truck Series. We had David Dixon and Brian Webb open up the season over there. It's going to be an interesting season in the Truck Series, no doubt about it, as we move on throughout the fall. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Ryose Fujimoto for winning the St. Louis 200, and congratulations to Caleb Rose on winning the BodyArmor LYTE Series Showdown. Here are the points for the Showdown, the East Series and the West Series after all the respective races. And as always, I will see you guys later.